Good morning. It's day 3. Week 3. I did that backwards. Week 3, day 1. Had a decent run this morning. This is where it finally switches to starting to combine some of the times and extend it, stretch it out. Which, today was the longest set was 3 minutes. And then I think next week it bumps it up to 5 minutes. And anyway, so it's starting to actually string together some running. But I was thinking this morning about religion and politics, which, that's always here. Don't talk religion and politics with family, or, don't talk religion and politics with someone new that you meet, because it might, and then the underlying premise there is that it might offend them, and you don't want to bring up those topics because you might have some point or some firmly held belief that they don't have, and you might be in disagreement about that. And, I think having disagreement is apparently something that is sorely missing in this country right now. I don't see it in society as a whole, where, but if you don't agree with somebody or you don't hold their viewpoint, you're almost seen as less than human. And I think, social media can reinforce those norms. I know I'm guilty of it. I get most of my news, perfectly honest, comes from Facebook. And no, it's not other people reporting on things, but it's other people sharing articles from the New York Times, the Washington Post, BuzzFeed, any numerous of sources, Fox, CNN, wherever they're coming from. So it's still, the news itself is still coming from a mainstream media source, but the selection and, the selection bias it's a real big problem. I try, one of my biggest pet peeves of Facebook is to never defriend someone over an ideological difference. And, I do try to click on and read everyone's post that comes across, and especially the ones I disagree with. And I do that to challenge myself. I don't go to Facebook to reaffirm my worldview. I'm on Facebook to find out what's happening. And I think a lot of people say they're going to find out what's happening, but then they self-select who they're friends with. And so the feed that gets spit back to them is their beliefs they had anyway. And when you read something that is espousing a belief you already have, it reinforces that. And if the belief is constantly reinforced, then it seems indestructible. And when it seems indestructible, then anyone having an opposing viewpoint, well, they clearly have to be evil or wrong, or something is just messed up with them. And this is what's happening on both sides, on any debate. And you see it in the comment channels on some of these threads, where anyone who comes in and espouses something that's not necessarily even diametrically opposed, but just might be slightly different or slightly worded, and rather than Facebook creating this great conversation platform where these ideas can be explored and expressed, it turns into trolling and flame wars, where the other side just shoots the person down. And I think this is because, first of all, it's selection bias, and second of all, it's because it's anonymous. Yeah, your name is attached to it, but people, I don't think, really associate that. Even though their name is there, they're still anonymous to the person they're talking to. How many times have you seen a post from someone that you didn't know who it was on some major, one of these major comment threads, and you've clicked on that person and tried to go see who they are? Almost never, I would bet. So it's the same as having a username on a forum. It's not attached to a real person, even though it is. For the vast majority of people, it's not. And so you can act like you're anonymous. And I don't know. I don't know what the solution to the selection bias problem is. And one thing I've thought of is that maybe Facebook can detect whether you're conservative or liberal or where you're on the spectrum, and that when it detects that, rather than feeding you content that is more from your line of persuasion, that it progressively feeds you more content from your opposite line of persuasion on your newsfeed. Just so you at least see it. I mean, you don't have to agree with it. That's the thing. It's like people are so averse to just seeing the other viewpoint. I'm not saying you have to agree with it, but you need to see it. You need to know it's there, and you need to know that it's held by people who have rationally come to that same opinion. Otherwise, nothing you can do about it. So, well, my cool down's done. I'm back in my house. Time to start a Monday. See y'all.